my name is Audrey Alison. Thank you for joining me for your September 2015 forecast for the month. I am here in New Jersey bringing you the monthly forecasts, and I wanted to start the top of the month with a big thank you for tuning in and subscribing and liking and sharing these podcasts. I appreciate the support, especially from the Arians. I've received a lot of requests in August for readings from Aries, so I really appreciate that. Let's start the forecast with a Venus going direct on September 6th. Venus, the ruling planet of Taurus and Libra, will be officially direct at 14 degrees of Leo, but she will remain in that sign of Leo through the 8th of October. Now for you, this is your 5th house of children and romance and creativity, true love, entrepreneurial energy for those of you starting creative projects or working on your talents and creative skills. Venus now direct is smooth sailing, Venus smoothing over the sector that she resides in. So she's not really a detrimental aspect when she's retrograde, but she does slow up the beautification process. Or perhaps some of you having relationships with children had noticed that the energy wasn't there as much as it normally is, and she could have slowed down that process in the 5th house of children, but going direct, things are more smooth sailing in that area. Or for those of you looking for money to support a creative endeavor, Venus direct, since she rules love and money, you could see that you are now receiving more financial help and assistance in the areas that govern the 5th house, children, creative abilities, and money for romance to provide for the dating aspects, because the 5th house is the light-hearted house of dating as well. So she'll remain in the sector through October 8th. Now, this month is a little tricky. We have 2 eclipses as well as a Mercury retrograde. The first eclipse is the new moon solar partial eclipse on the 13th of September at 20 degrees of Virgo. So this is your 6th house of health. I really want you Arians to take it easy in the health sector on the first eclipse, the 6th house of routine and daily work and habit. You might want to reduce your schedule over the time of the first eclipse, the new moon eclipse on the 13th. Eclipse energy does take effect for several months following the eclipse. So if you can reduce your schedule as much as possible in those few days surrounding the eclipse, or if possible the week of the eclipse, but you might notice how this can come into play in a few months, 6 months down the road in your health sector. There could be a new routine that you're implementing or a new habit regarding health and diet and all things that need to be under control for you, Aries. On the 17th, there's an opposition. Actually, there's a lot of energy happening on September 17th. In the opposition between Jupiter and Neptune, in between this 6th house where Jupiter is stationed, where the eclipse will fall, the new moon will be conjunct Jupiter. Jupiter is opposing Neptune in your 12th house. And what Neptune is a little bit of a delusional energy. Neptune likes to wear rose-colored glasses, and there's a nebulous energy with Neptune, and Jupiter is the expansion. So the awareness and the expansion in the 6th house with Jupiter, the abundance, the luck, is in opposition, which is not a necessarily harmonious energy, but it's filtering energy across the astrological wheel between the 6th and the 12th house of rest. So there might be on the 17th, in that weak energy of the solar eclipse, that you do need to take a rest. This would be the perfect time for vacation, not long distance travel, but something within the home, resting within the home, quieting the subconscious mind of the 12th house of secrets as well. As much as you want to expand all of the information regarding your routine in the 6th house, the 12th house is making sure you have all of the facts right before you start expressing all of this, because with Neptune, you might not have all of the information necessary at that time. And that is also the same day that Mercury retrogrades at 15 degrees of Libra in your 7th house of the others, of relationship, of marriage, soulmate, and business partnerships. Mercury will be retrograde through October 9th. So this retrograde occurs in between the two eclipses. A little bit of a rocky month, but we can get through anything. Plus, this is just energies. It really matters where these positions are according to your natal chart, not just the solar wheel, not just the solar forecast. So make sure you look at your natal positionings as well, and you can also book with me. On the 17th, Mercury retrograde, on the 17th in the 7th could be you not communicating with the spouse appropriately or the relationship at this time. Choose your words wisely through the retrograde in the 7th, and in what you're communicating in regards to business partnerships and people you work with. You want to make sure your details are accurate because Mercury is details, and in a retrograde there's a lot of pieces of information that can go missing. That's through the 9th of October. Now on the 17th as well, Saturn exits Scorpio. His 2.5-year stay there has come to an end, and he enters Sagittarius for the remaining 2.5 years through December of 2017. This will be, Saturn is restriction and control in the 9th house of education and philosophies and long distance travel. You might not want to go the distance regarding travel, Aries. There might be some restriction there. And also for those of you dealing with visas out of the country and green cards, you might see some frustrations occur over that 2.5-year transit with Saturn in the 9th house. Things don't go as effortlessly in that position because Saturn wants you to learn lessons. Now, this would be an excellent time for education and study because Saturn is focus, and the 9th house of study and lessons learned with Saturn, it could apply in a very beautiful way for those of you getting higher certifications and your master's degrees or special study. And you might be yearning to learn about new philosophies and religions at this time and really absorbing a lot of energy and information in the 9th house. But you have quite a while with this restrictive planet in the 9th. So you'll be able to focus here, and you'll notice where this energy is drawing to you personally over the next 3 years. On the 23rd, the Sun enters Libra like he does every year in the 7th house where Mercury is retrograde. So the Sun will be conjunct Mercury in the 7th house of partnerships. And I like that the Sun is there because the Sun is the life force, and he is smoothing over this sector where Mercury is causing a little bit of, ruffled feathers. So having the Sun there, your major focus is your relationships. And if you're not in one, the desire to become in one, or the fireball of the Sun, that energy is driving you to consider partnering up. On the 24th, Mars exits Libra or Leo and enters Virgo in the 6th house of health again. So there's energy with Mars. There's stamina and drive and dedication. You have your new moon in the 6th house. I feel like Arians are incorporating a new health regimen and will be almost forced to do so if you haven't already had one in place. Mars is a lot of heated aggression and sweat and hot energy and the passion to have drive and ambition in the sector that he touches. So with him falling into the 6th house next to the new moon partial solar eclipse, you will be inspired, Mars' inspiration, and determined to finish a fitness routine or health regimen or daily schedule or some process regarding work. We end the month on the 27th with our full moon total lunar eclipse at 4 degrees of Aries. Now this month for you is a little shaky because the full moon is the culmination and the ending of this total lunar eclipse in your sign. So I recommend Arians do the opposite of what they naturally want to do and get some rest. Considering the Mercury retrograde and the two eclipses, one affecting the health sector and one affecting the first house of the body. This might be a time for recuperation for those of you who can avoid going back to work after some summertime. I would suggest taking that time. Let me get to the cards and see what is going on for Aries, September 2015. And I also would like to say, if you'd like to book with me, you can do so at audreyalison.com. I really want to thank everyone for tuning in to the Goddess Alive radio show that I've been a special guest on twice now. And I'll be appearing there, I believe, sometime in fall. We just have to get the dates lined up. But here are the cards for you, Aries, for September. And I'm using my alchemical deck by Robert M. Place. I did purchase some other decks in the French Quarter, but I really feel comfortable using this right now, and I'm going to just use what I'm naturally drawn to at the time of the reading. The first card, Three of Swords. Okay, some of you Arians, regarding the 7th house where Mercury is retrograde, since the swords are communications, this is about relationship sorrows or saying the wrong thing, saying things spitefully or having loss or heartache. Watch your words and choose them very wisely in the relationship sector during the retrograde of September 17th through October 9th. Two of Swords, the opposition. This could be the Jupiter-Neptune opposition, but since these are swords, they're really ruled by the air signs, and they're mercurial. They're communications, and this is coming up against someone. A verbal opposition could be in place in September if you don't heed your words, watch your words wisely. Now this is the Sun. This is marriage. This is the 7th house of soulmates, where you have the retrograde, but you also have the Sun itself in the 7th house of relationships. So this is perfectly definitive in the tarot, but it is the life force, the warmth, it's success and happiness in the marriage sector. Now the Eight of Swords, you have some swords activity. This might be some of you are trapped or feeling blocked and frustrated within the retrograde and in between the two eclipses, because with eclipse energy, if you're not currently aligned on the correct path, there can be the picking up and the moving you in the path that's best suited for you, but this doesn't always come with the best of comfort. This can be maybe an uncomfortable repositioning at first, but it's always for the betterment of your soul, life, purpose, and path. There could be feeling some restriction with this, especially with Saturn entering Sagittarius now in the 9th house of philosophies. What you're currently believing in, how you see the world, what is your viewpoint, what is your religion, how do you feel about metaphysical energies? All of that is being addressed over the next 2.5 to 3 years with Saturn in this sector for you. Looking at the tarot, the center card is the most beautiful. It's the Sun. And it's really saying, you don't have to make decisions right now. All of these sword cards are mental processes and thoughts. There's no action here. There's no fire in the tarot. You don't have to take action or make decisions. Allow these thoughts to occur, but I wouldn't address them. I would really support your relationship and acknowledge it for the warmth that it is. For those of you not in relationship, this could be the time where you're meant to analyze the relationships around you. You could be brought and eclipsed. Someone could be eclipsed into the situation regarding relationship. But I wouldn't recommend complete action throughout the month of September. Use this time to mentally go over the pros and the cons, the two swords, the list, the checklist. Some people might be coming in up to some opposition, though, through verbal disagreement, Arians. So just watch every word that comes out of your mouth, especially in the 7th house of the others, which is predominantly a lot of people that you deal with on a daily basis, business and relationship. Aries, I hope this was helpful. Thanks for joining me, and I'm wishing you a beautiful September, and I will see you next month.